Yeah, it's sad. I mean, we bought this as our forever home, and then obviously Charlotte got pregnant, and we realised that 5 humans on this parcel of land probably wouldn't be appropriate.
With our crazy one.
Yeah, you know, this was always a childhood dream to live on this street. It's an aspirational location, and you're very lucky to be here.
Remember when you called me, and we just said, "Oh, we've been selected." And it's like, what do we do now?
Don't f it up.
Yeah, don't stuff it up.
I of course thought you were joking. I just thought you were asking every single agent how they'd like to sell their house, and I said I'd love to. Of course I would. And you said, all right, well, I think I'd like you to sell it.
I spoke to Charlotte about having someone that was only a year within the industry, having that fresh mindset, matched with someone that had been in it for over a decade, male, female, new to the game, old skill set that's been then combined with that, which is obviously, you know, you guys, and also the balance in personality. Someone that's a bit more reserved in Pete, someone that's crazy like yourself, but fun.
Well, she's become a little bit more reserved, and I've become a little bit more crazy.
Yeah. So this listing really brought you together.
It did. And I mean, I had the added benefit of having enjoyed great times in this home.
Yeah, that's true.
And I loved it.
And you talk
from
about it a
day
lot
one.
with the buyers. Yeah.
So to me, it feels like a second home anyway. So when I was showing people around, it was just very natural, and you know, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
What about the pressure of holding the potential to break that suburb record on your plate?
No pressure.
Yeah, well, that was first brought up by you, and then amplified by the whole sales team on a golf trip.
Yes.
And you weren't there,
No.
so I copped all that pressure that day. But look, what's real estate without a bit of pressure?
I think it's an amazing thing as well, being a real estate professional and going through what our clients go through. So for me, it brought me also back into line with understanding what the clients are going through on a daily basis and what you have to deal with. You know, my price was always quite high, and you guys had to, in a way, educate me. I know a lot of people in the market say condition, but it's actually not conditioning. You educated us to bring us into line to enable us to transact. And through transacting, you get to progress, and through progression, you then get to move on to bigger and better things. So it was emotional, and there were times when we all butted heads a little bit, but those moments are only because we have that emotion, which you guys didn't have, and we needed to eventually listen to you. Still break a record, but maybe just not as much as what we wanted. And that's really important, and moving forward into the year and getting this achieved so early in the year, I think puts all of our understanding for our clients at the forefront.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think working for you here, because you're a perfectionist, Marty, and so are you, Charlotte, it sort of made us come to a new level in a way, and that's the standard.
Elevated.
I mean, we like to think we do that for all our clients, but you are very perfect with everything. Like the candle has to be facing a certain way, and you're very particular. But it's good to say, okay, well, someone else down the road might be just as particular, and it's their home.
Well, the vision for the brand was always to give that level of perfection across all of our touch points, whether it be the opens, or the social media, or the video, or the photography. Everything had to have that level of perfectionism based on what we would expect from a campaign. And even if you give that to people that aren't expecting it, that's then leaving them with that memorable feeling of being with WHITEFOX.
We had a lot of attention. It was the 3rd most visited property in Australia over that period. So our marketing was phenomenal. And that wasn't because it was Marty Fox's house or Charlotte Fox's house. It was because of the house and the promotion.
And also the timing. You know, this was a longer than normal campaign. And as owners, like, you know, there were moments when we wanted to take the property off the market and hold it. You know, there were moments when you had to sort of let us have those moments of potential thoughts of pulling the pin, but then bringing us back and guiding us back online, educating us again. We're experts on the industry, but you had to re-educate to say, it's just the time of year. It's okay. Come Feb, the market will open up and things will progress. And on the 11th hour of Jan, it comes together. But it wrapped up in the day. That's what really got us sort of in shock. The day that we sold it was the day that we decided to keep it. We went for a massive walk in the morning, took the kids on literally the biggest walk we've ever done, and it was a sunny, perfect day, and we were like, we're not going. We're going to put a bedroom above the garage, that's it, keeping the house. And then all of a sudden we were driving down Dandenong Road, past Chatty. We're about to literally lease it. So we had a great offer to lease it. Pete calls us with Shaney on a group call. We're driving home and he goes, don't lease the house.
Please tell me
you haven't signed the paperwork. We've got an offer. And then within 4 or 5 hours, it had literally been wrapped up.
A couple that bought it were lovely to deal with too, and really straightforward, and it was a pleasure dealing with them. You know, so it sort of just ended really, really well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, after all of the lead up and all of the marketing and all of the opens and it being over Christmas and are we leasing it, are we staying, the actual final transaction came together really smoothly in a day.
It happened really quick.
It did. It was done. It started at about midday and it was done by 6 p.m.
Very odd, very odd series of emotions to feel. And isn't it amazing? The moment you feel like you don't care, or the moment you let go of that pressure of wanting to sell, is the moment it happens. And I think that's a great message to send to people when sometimes when you just let your hands come off, it'll all...
I think the biggest thing with that though is that you got to make sure you got the right person in your corner, and you guys put that faith in us, but you knew we were in your corner. And when the opportunity comes...
Stable,
Exactly. So for those that might be on the market for some time, you just got to make sure you got the right person in your corner, because sometimes it's a unique sale.
I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Will you give us a review?
No, but how's this though? No. But this is the other thing about building great networks within the industry. You know, before you guys were appointed, Charlotte and I did have other agents in here. We did what most vendors do. We had 2 or 3 different agents come in here where we did offer it off market at a particular price point. And they were sort of like in shock, like, Marty, why are you doing this? And I said, well, this is a business transaction. This is our home. This is the price. I respect you in the industry. I like what you do. I see that you've sold one around the corner. If you do have someone there, we're willing to transact. And if you get the job done, I'm happy to be your biggest promoter, even though you're not a staff member at WHITEFOX. But the reality is that whilst they had a lot of people on their databases, they didn't produce the buyer. And, you know, you guys did. And of course, if we were going to market, it was always going to be with us. But I think, you know, never be disheartened as an agent or a vendor to call in other people or to think outside the square, you know, for the best outcome for the asset, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we did that. We went through the proper due diligence to get to where we got to, and we've got the result.